Hey, welcome to the channel. If you're new to it or you haven't already, thumbs up and subscribe. All about blues harmonica on my channel, but today I'm looking at a commercial track, Move On Up. A great commercial track. Something slightly different. What do you do as a blues player over something like this? You know, people tend to avoid it perhaps if they're just a straight blues player playing little phrases and chords, but Move On Up's a lovely track, a very inspirational tune by the great Curtis Mayfield. And you know, if you're down on your luck, these sort of things, you know, it's that vigor of invoking hope, which I think is an essential ingredient of mankind, I think, you know. So, you know, this idea of you know, you could do it in single notes, play it like that, okay? But the idea is you're replacing a horn section. I'm just using like tongue blocking chords. And when you come to do a little bit of work on this, if you were asked to play over the track, you can mess around with it. What I would suggest is using the pentatonic, which is basically the blues scale with, well, in musical terms, the flat 5 taken out, but for people who are not come to it that way, if we were using the blues scale starting on 4 draw, we'd be actually taking out the 6 draw bend. Okay. You can kind of work that in now and again on this style tune, but you just got to be careful. But if you eliminate that and just work off the pentatonic, that'll be fine. And also the Dorian minor scale will work. But sometimes sitting on these ninths and things like that don't necessarily work with this tune. They work more with a funk, a more sort of elaborate tune. With this more straight, what I call more straight, even that sometimes hanging on the ninth, it isn't sort of in keeping with this style of tune, because it's very sort of regimented and blocked in the way it's designed. But it's a fantastic tune, and interesting for you to pick up the blues harmonica and play along with this style of thing. Now your bluesy phrases and all your wonderful bends and your all that sort of stuff, not really going to work on this style of tune, and particularly when you're playing funk and you look at things in a slightly different way. So it's quite interesting for you to have a go at that and have a look at something like this and just see the differences. And sometimes I've always felt, certainly when I was a saxophonist playing commercial music, usually for money, because it tended to pay more than jazz, so everybody did it. But sometimes it's not the boredom, it's the fact that what do you play over it, because sometimes the chords are quite rigid and there's not as much freedom of expression. And if you're learning the blues on the blues harmonica, sometimes you feel your expression's been brought down, and to an extent it is, because it's a whole different type of package. It's just music has different functions, and so, you know, it depends how structured the thing is and how much freedom of expression you can put to it, or how you're going to go about it. So it's just something different for you to look at with the blues harmonica. If you're looking at that style of thing when you're working on your blues and everything else, is to look at sometimes these type of tunes. And of course, blues is found in most Western music, you know, not outside the classics, and some types of folk don't do it, but you know, there are folk music involved with the blues, but blues appears in all sorts of different music. And when you strip it away and play it raw, as we often do, sometimes when you move into different genres, you see how you can sort of work certain things in. But you have to play a little straighter on these kind of tunes, I think. Okay, so if you're after lessons, Skypes or anything like that, thumbs up and subscribe. You can get me off my website, Harpo The Wix. And well, I hope you enjoyed this little bit of a rant by yours truly. Okay, stay safe out there. I'll catch you on the rebound.